Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre. We're going to start this episode off the same way we start every episode off, with a moment of gratitude. I know that you could be doing a million other things with your time, and the fact that you spend it with us truly does mean the world to me. So thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro. And we are back. As you can tell, we are not on the set of the Mac City Morning Show. We are at Coldwell Banker, so big shout out to them. These are our Sunday's episodes. We're having a great time doing it. As you know, I don't introduce my guests because they can do a better job at that than myself. So can you please tell everybody at home who you are and what you're about?
My name is Kim Stanley. Obviously, I'm a realtor here at Coldwell Banker. I've been a real estate agent for 13 years now. I'm originally from Nova Scotia. I grew up there, born and raised, but I raised my kids here, so I have 3 adult kids, married for 26 years. Yeah, that's me.
Very cool. Okay, let's get started. What part of Nova Scotia?
From New Glasgow, Pictou County.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so what brought you out here originally?
Well, my husband's work, basically, like opportunity. We had traveled around from the time we were first married. We lived all over Boston. We lived and worked there for a while. We were in Arkansas. We were in New Brunswick. We were kind of all over, and opportunity came to work here, and so we did.
And so what does he do that would give him opportunities in all those places?
Well, right now he does like quality control, quality work. He was a welder by trade and stuff, so construction jobs, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With quality control, I used to be in the NDT world, non-destructive testing prior to. So as a quality control person, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So interesting, very cool.
Yeah.
So you just said something else that piqued my memory, my brain. You said you have adult children. What does that mean?
My oldest son just turned 26, and then I have a daughter who's 24, and my youngest is 20.
Okay, we're not going to go into how old you are, but well, you don't look like you would have children at that age. That's really?
Yeah. We had our kids young though. We started young, we got married young.
Like 12?
Yeah, right. Scandalous.
Wow, okay. And so they were born and raised here or just raised here?
So raised here. They were all born in Nova Scotia, but we moved here when my oldest was starting grade 6 and my youngest has started school here. So I know you have the high school thing, so yes. I didn't go to high school here, but my 2 oldest, actually 2 of my kids, my youngest and oldest graduated from Merck, and my middle girl did Trinity. So,
nice.
So there.
I'm winning. There you go. If Tanner he's outside, he can't hear it. He's been crushing me lately with the comp kids though. Why was the switch for the third? Like, why did she feel like Trinity was better for her?
My girls were very much into drama and musical theater and things like that, so they both started at Trinity, and my youngest ended up switching back to Merck and graduated there, and then my oldest son did Hockey Academy, so it was just about their interests and stuff like that.
And so the adults, what are they doing?
My son actually works here. He works for a company called OCL. He does business development, and my middle daughter's in Calgary. She's a psychiatric nurse. She's got a tough job, great job though, rewarding. And my youngest is just finishing school. She's in massage therapy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're all doing their thing. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
you're always going to be a mom, and like they're taking care of for the most part. Now you just gotta sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're here at Coldwell. You've been a real estate agent for how long did you say? 13 years.
13 years.
So what about this industry kind of piqued your interest 13 years ago?
Well, it's funny because I actually graduated from St. X in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Should have done
your extra one?
I do.
There you go.
Yeah. And I was gonna do broadcasting, sports broadcasting. That's what I was gonna do. But like I said, I got married young, had our kids, kind of traveled all over, worked tons of different jobs and businesses. And so we moved here. I really didn't know what I was going to do, and our realtor was an agent from Coldwell Banker. He's no longer here, but we became really good friends, and I was super interested in the whole process of buying the house and everything. And my husband said to me, you'd be really good at it. What have you ever thought about it? And I was like, you know what? I think I might. And so 13 years ago, then you're still doing it.
Have you been with Coldwell the whole time?
The whole time.
And so Why Coldwell? There's other brokerages, and I'd love to hear like
For sure,
why
yeah.
this is so different. Why you're passionate about this brokerage.
Yeah, no, like I said, the agent that sold us our home was from Coldwell, and he recommended that I talk to Colin, and so I did. And I did talk to a couple of the other brokers at the time as well.
Yeah.
But Colin and I just, we just hit it off. We're the same age. We were both from Nova Scotia. We had a lot in common. Our kids were similar ages and stuff like that.
Right.
And he really encouraged me to like get out of my comfort zone and do things on the radio and stuff, and I knew that he was going to help push me out of my comfort, which I needed to at the time. So yeah, it was a good fit, and he still does it to this day. He's always like, when we're doing our open house blitz, he's like, I want to see videos.
It's the way of the future.
Yeah, it's for sure.
Gotta do it. Yeah. Okay, so Coldwell's been the whole time. Fantastic. And so in the 13 years that you've been doing it, what have you seen, like, in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest change? And there's a lot in this community over the last 13 years.
No, for sure. I mean, from the fire and the rebuilds and the COVID and just the interest rates lately, just everything has changed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen, it's not even that it's changed, it's just that you go through those cycles, and I find real estate is very cyclical. And even for agents, some of our agents will be like, oh, I'm so busy right now, and you'll be like, well, I'm not as busy. Or then, a few weeks later you're like swamped at the office, and others are like, oh, see, it's your turn now. And I feel like that's kind of the way real estate flows. Also, you just have to be, I feel like you have to be really consistent. I think that's like time management is really key for that. But even just consistency, being out in the community, talking to people, letting them know you still do real estate and that it's Fort McMurray is an awesome place to live, and encouraging people. I'm really big in the ladies golf world. I'm a huge supporter, and I've always been a supporter of down in Miskinaw. So I feel like when you're just out in the community doing things, it's just the best way to engage in people and talk about real estate, because everybody lives somewhere, whether they're renting or eventually going to buy. Real estate is always on someone's mind.
That's right. Facts.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, but you answered the question. So the downtown, that's your place.
Miskinaw, yeah. I've sponsored the Ladies League there for now 9 years.
Okay.
My kids worked there at the golf course. They golf, my husband golfs, so we love Miskinaw.
That's very cool. So initially in your journey with you and your husband, you listed off some pretty amazing places that you were living. And where you're from, I've been, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Nice.
But then you guys moved here, and obviously you guys aren't afraid of moving to different locations and going for an adventure, but you decided to stay in Fort McMurray.
This is the longest place we've lived,
So why is that? What about this community kept you and keeps you here?
Yeah, it does. It really does suck you in. I hear all those people like have the 5-year plan and then they're just here forever. But I think it's the people. I mean, Fort McMurray is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like our boreal forest, I was surprised by that. I didn't realize how pretty it was. We love going out. We've done lots of lake trips and fishing and stuff like that. But I think it's the people in Fort McMurray. Everyone is just so friendly here. Like, I remember being nervous for my kids when they moved here that, they wouldn't be accepted right away, but they so were, and they were never like the only new kid in the class.
No, you're only new for the first day.
Yeah, people are from everywhere here, but they're just so welcoming, and I don't know, it's like a big town. That's what I felt. It's still like it's a small town, but with just lots of people.
That's right. That's exactly it. Yeah, I've always thought that myself, and especially like when I grew up here, so it was a lot smaller when I grew up.
Yeah.
But the feel, for the most part, is still the same.
Yeah.
And like when I travel the world, and especially when I went to school in Edmonton, I'm like, this ain't Fort McMurray.
No. Yeah, for
this
sure.
Fort McMurray. It's not the same. People are so friendly here.
Very friendly.
Yeah.
I feel like it, and you really get to know people. It's very young and busy too. Like, I find when I go back to Nova Scotia, I get a little bit of like road rage driving, because I'm like, it takes their time here. Everything's so slow. Relax, which is good. Yeah. But I do like the energy of Fort McMurray.
We were in Cape Breton this summer, and it's something my little kid like noticed immediately. He's just like, you don't really move here, Dad. I'm just like, no. And then he's only 8, and like the part of Cape Breton we're in has a lot of senior citizens, so it's like it's probably because everybody's old. I'm like, well,
there's a lot of truth to that.
That too, but we definitely, it's a young town, and you move.
You do, yeah. I know, I do. I like that and like I said, it's a great place for my kids to grow up, and I like that they're working here. Some of them moved away, but my daughter lives in Calgary. She started working here. Like, there's just so much opportunity, I feel like, and
that's it.
Yeah,
That was my thing when I used to be in human resources and I'd be a recruiter. That was kind of my ace in the hole after the conversation was done. I said, like, you want to come to Fort McMurray for yourself because there's a lot of job opportunity and there's money, and like that's why you're gonna think you're gonna come. But the reason you should come is for the opportunity that your children are gonna have.
Absolutely.
As far as like the school systems that we have, the opportunities just within them for traveling and education, and then you want your kids to have the best. And so when they do graduate, the opportunity to get their foot in like the working world or own a home potentially. Huge in this community, and you can take that stepping stone and then do whatever you want with it, right? Yeah,
for sure. Like, they've always worked here, even as like in high school, they've always had opportunities to work, and I loved that they did have the opportunities with high school to pursue what they enjoyed to do, whether it was sports, which they all played, or whether it was the musical theater or drama or cheerleading or dance. They just were always, it was available to them. There's so much, and like Mac Island, like that place is amazing, right? So
that's exactly it.
Yeah, and even for us, like we golf in the summer. We do curling now. We've never curled before, but that's something we started doing. We just started pickleball. Like we're trying out the retirement.
Yeah, that's right.
We're getting ready for the next little bit, but awesome. But there's always something to do here, which I love. Yeah.
There is. A lot of people say there's nothing to do, and like you're really not looking.
Exactly.
You're really not looking between that.
Sure.
Those two landmarks I feel we have are Mac Island and Keanu College.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you would not be able to go to all the things, all the plays, all the musicals, all the performances at Keanu, and all of the things that they have at those two.
Like really good shows, really good. I'm always it's awesome. And now I love that the new Uptown Alley, it's so good. Like, they're gonna have like the axe throwing and mini putt.
That's right.
We need it. We do have cold winters, so it's nice to have all these indoor activities to do.
Yeah, the alley has been a huge blessing, especially for so many years. Like, we used to have a bowling alley up in Gregoire, but then the owners passed away, so like the kids didn't want to take it on, so we were without a bowling alley for
a long time.
So it's nice to have like the alley down here.
It is nice.
But it's so busy for them to expand.
That's
just
perfect.
It'll be really good.
I know.
So on that note about family events, me and Tanner, we talk about food a lot on the show, but you and your family, Friday night, Saturday night, whatever, or maybe a Tuesday when you're really busy, what was your guys' go-to pizza joint to go to in Fort McMurray?
So that's a tough one because everybody likes something different.
Okay, I love it. Give me the whole, please.
That is tough. So PK's is always a favorite of some people. Boston Pizza, they love the pierogi pizza at Boston Pizza.
Okay.
Joma's has always been kind of I think the wings, they like the Joma's, but lately, I mean, I like them all. They're all so good.
Yeah.
Lately, Hugh's downtown. Come on, I think that's my favorite.
Okay.
I think that one's mine. But we just got, our son actually bought us for Christmas one of those little pizza ovens, the wood fired outside, like takes a minute and a half to cook your pizza.
Okay.
And so lately we've just been doing home pizzas, and that's kind of fun too.
Okay.
They're good, really good.
What do you put on your pizzas?
So I like more veggie style stuff, and I'm more of like just keep it simple, throw some veggies on there, a little bit of feta, flatbread, yum. Okay. Or like butternut squash. Have you ever tried it? It's so good.
Okay.
People say it's crazy, but it's so good.
You're going hardcore with pizza. It's not just like peppers, pepperoni, cheese.
Yeah,
like you're going in for it.
We love the pizza nights.
Okay.
Yeah. But then the guys are always throwing on whatever meat they can throw on it. Yeah.
That's right. That's hilarious. So 9 years now you've been sponsoring golf down at Pisco?
The ladies.
So how did you get into that? Why did you get into that? Like,
So a friend of mine, she was she always played and she always was looking for other ladies to come play with her. So she's like, Kim, just come try it, come to the range, and we'll actually teach your son and your kids, we'll all get them out. So I started taking my kids to the junior nights, and when they were out playing, I would go on the range with her.
Okay.
And then she was just like, let's just play, let's just come play. There's ladies night on Tuesday, it's just for fun, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I was like really bad, but I went and I loved the ladies, they were so fun, and they at the time were looking for a sponsor. So I was like, you know what, I think this is something I would like to do, and I would like to see more ladies come out, because when we first started there was like 20 of us, and now we've had like 80-90 ladies showing up. So yeah, it's really, I love that it's taken off. Fort McMurray is a big golf town, I find, for sure. So and I love that it's a great way. We do tournaments and sponsor, you get out there talking to people, you get to meet people, and now like my kids play as well, so it's nice. We can do family vacations with golf. So I'm happy. I've gotten a little better.
I was just gonna ask, have you improved?
I've improved a little bit. I actually have a lesson tomorrow. I always get lessons every spring, just to encourage, like just to. Golf is like a game that is an individual game, although you play with other people. You're only competing against yourself, so that's what I love about it. It's just get out there and try to improve.
That's cool. It's amazing what kids get you to do in regards to like, who would have thought in your adult life you would have picked up a new sport? Like, hey, the kids are there, and then, you know what, I have an interest in this. Let's go and do it.
I know, and they're always so much better than you.
I know. It's killing me.
Yeah, I know. My kids are way better golfers.
When I first knew I was gonna have like a kid, I was just like, I'm into surfing and snowboarding and skateboarding, right? So I'm just like, oh, my kid's gonna be into that. I can't wait. Then he was born, and I'm like, this kid is going nowhere near any of that nonsense. And so, because I don't want him to get hurt, because he's a precious little boy. So, but he sees the skateboards and stuff all over the house. So he's just like, hey, Dad, can I like skateboard? And I was like, no, first you need to learn how to ride a scooter. He's like, okay. And he's like, can I skateboard now? I'm like, no, bike. And then he's like, okay. And so it just got to the point where he's like, enough's enough. Like, I want to get on the skateboard. And so like, begrudgingly, like, okay, let's get on the skateboard. And he's just like, you want any tricks? And I was like, yeah, I know a few tricks. And so we went online to like learn how to do a few skateboard tricks. And he's like, okay. And I got on my skateboard and I did them, and then he looked at me and I was like, okay. And like 2 minutes later, he was doing them dramatically better than me. And I was just like, at the time, I'm like, you're 6. Like, what? They just progress so much quicker.
They pick things up so quick. Fearless.
They really are. Well, listen, that's the end of the show. Short and sweet. So before I cut you loose, though, everybody gets a shameless shout out or plug. So you have the mic, you have the camera, you have the lights. So.
So you can find me on all social media, Stanley Cup Realtor. Cheesy statement, I know, but it helps remember the name. Kim Stanley, the realtor that will cheer you on to the finish.
I love it. That's great. Well, thanks for sitting down with me. I can't wait till we do it again.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, Fort McMurray with Buffalo, the rest of the world, that's been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to Colin and Coldwell Banker for having these episodes. We really do appreciate it, and they're lots of fun. Hope everybody at home is having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
What a deadly old way to end another morning show. Later, boss.
It's so ballistic! Talk about quenching your ugly thirst.